What's up, girlfriends? This is Kendall D, and welcome to my first YouTube video. So this is something that's going to be ongoing from here on out. I'm still going to have my Instagram page where you guys are mostly met me already and have been following, but I've now added YouTube. So what I've done is about 2 weeks ago, I basically asked you guys to send suggestions of what you want me to talk about, questions, advice, whatever you need, and I'm going to answer it by doing videos. Because sometimes reading is cool, but sometimes it's better to hear it. Sometimes it's better for me to even speak it, to say what I want to say, and maybe you can get it a different way. So I'm added this. So you guys sent your questions in. I appreciate that. And since there were so many and I couldn't choose which one to start with, I decided to run a poll, basically, which I did that Wednesday. I ran a poll to see, to pick from these two, which one you wanted. One was how to enforce boundaries without seeming pushy. And the other was how to truly get over him. It was actually a close tie. I was just thinking right off the bat that you guys were going to ask how to get over him, but it was so close. So I'm going to do both. But the one that won that I'm doing on this video would be how to truly get over him. This is going to be done today on this video, and I'll do how to enforce boundaries on the next video, which may be next week. I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing. With my schedule, trying to finish these books and working full time still, it can be a little hectic, but I'm going to try to fit it all in. So enough with all the rundown at the beginning. You guys know me already. You know from my Instagram, which I'll put in beneath here. Basically my link if you're not following me there and you're just not meeting me the first time on YouTube. So we're going to jump right in. So how to truly get over him. This is what this video is going to be about. So first things first, know that it's going to take time. And also one other thing, if you see me looking this way, I have my computer here with notes. So I'm looking at them periodically for notes. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So, know that it's going to take time to get over him. I don't want you to have this specific date in mind or this specific timeline. For me, I got over my exes within like a month. But that's just me. So don't get, wow, it's been years for me. What is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing different. You're not doing anything wrong. So some people need a little more help than others. And that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm here to help. So know that have that first in mind, that it's going to take some time. It's not an overnight thing. Second, we're going to jump right into what I did personally, what helped me to get over my exes that I was just so in love with, wanting to be with, and couldn't see myself being without. So, two things you must realize. If the relationship ended, was it truly meant? Maybe it was meant for you during that specific time in your life, but maybe it's time to move on to feel and be in a different relationship or feel something different than who you were in that relationship. Understand that relationships have seasons. And they come in and out. They're not always meant to last forever, and that is okay. So first, understand that. And another thing is, if it ended, it means that you two were more than likely not compatible, and that's okay. Or it could mean that the relationship wasn't really good for you, period. That's one thing, because mostly everyone that follows me on IG, it's about being a toxic relationship survivor. So I'm going to try to mostly stay in line with that, because that's who all my followers, they basically know me as the toxic relationship survivor. So yes, it could mean that you weren't compatible, but overall, if the relationship was toxic in any way, made you feel any way, made you feel low, didn't make you feel good, anything like that, it's a good thing that it's over. It's a blessing that it's over. It happened it being over happened for a reason. So just remember that. And another thing is, you could be just really hanging on to what you really wanted in that relationship, what you really wanted him to be. You're hanging on to how the man you wanted him to be. You're thinking like, oh, he never became who I wanted him to be, and it's over. That man I wanted him to be is never going to happen. And it probably never was. Staying in that relationship doesn't mean that he was going to change to be the man that you wanted him to be. And even if he does go off and change for the next woman, that's okay. That's really okay. It doesn't say anything about your inherent value. It doesn't say anything about your worth. It just means that you two are compatible. Maybe the relationship was a season for him as well. Maybe just you two were meant to learn from each other doing it. That may not be what you want to hear, but it could be possibly what that was all about. So just understand that if he was toxic, he probably won't change. But if he does so happen to change, that's a good thing. He's supposed to change to be better. You want to still be the same shitty ass person he was when he was with you? No. And you're going to change as well. You're going to be better for the next person. And another thing as well, if you really can't get over him and if you feel like you just really hung, was it that you just couldn't get over the hopes you had for the connection? Like I said before, were you just basically hoping that this connection was going to be something that it was not ever going to be? Was it maybe in the beginning that he sold you this dream, perhaps, that, hey, it's going to go this way, or, hey, I love you so much, you're the best woman I ever had. He made you feel so good and alive, made you feel like on cloud nine, like you was just the best, this thing in the whole world. Maybe he made you feel things that you never felt about yourself before in the beginning when he met you. So we can get sometimes so hung on that, especially if we never had anyone to tell us good things about ourselves. We can get hung on that one thing, that one trait, that one thing he did for us in the beginning, and it keeps feeding us. We keep wanting more. We keep wanting it to happen. We keep wanting him to be that man he was in the beginning. And the reality is, he probably was never that man. He was probably only being that way just to get you, just to have you in his grasp. So now you're in this relationship, and you're hoping it's going to work out. You're hoping that you really are this good person that he saw you as. And you are, don't get me wrong, you are, but he really doesn't appreciate you for you more than likely. And that's why this man that was here in the beginning is no longer here, because his true colors are coming out. He can't keep the wall up anymore. He can't keep the facade up anymore. So realize that as well. What else did I want to say? And another thing I did was, after I realized all that I was really hanging on to just the hopes, the fantasies, the dreams, because I had so much hope for my last ex. Like, I wanted us to travel together. I wanted to be married, have us kids. He already had kids. I wanted to be the stepmom to all his kids. I even had plans of getting this big ass minivan so we can drive around with him and all the kids, go on trips, all of that. And not to mention that my best friend and his best friend were married. So I'm thinking double dates. Oh, it's just going to be the perfect life. I had all that planned out. So that's the hard part of getting over, if that none of that is ever going to happen. None of it's ever going to come true. But know that all those dreams can come true with the next man, or you possibly can get something else better. Don't hang on to what you thought you wanted with that person. Think about how you can move on and get something better and something different. And after I realized all of that, I started really refocusing on myself. Like, I had all this love in me that I couldn't give to him anymore. I had all these hopes, all of this in me, and I just didn't have anywhere to put it, anywhere to do with it. And I realized that it was time to refocus and redirect back on myself. So I started traveling myself. I went on a trip with my friends. I started going to places I've always wanted to try, but I thought I needed someone to go with, so I went alone. Started eating alone. Started going to different restaurants, getting takeout. I even enhanced my look. Went shopping, got some different clothes, new makeup look, got some different hair, all of that. I just started basically redirecting all of the focus back into me and my life. Refocused on my friends. I started going out with my friends. That was one thing I really couldn't do before because he was so insecure. I don't know if that's how your ex was. If he was toxic, he probably was. But I really started just getting back to my life. I got back to doing what I wanted to do. And a lot of that, I just felt like I couldn't do with him because I felt like I was more so all about him. It was an anxious attachment because I was all about keeping this man that I felt that wasn't going to stay with me. I was all about him, what he wanted, trying to please him. And I realized that I neglected myself a whole lot. So once I started getting back into doing me, feeling good about myself, I realized that one day as I started waking up, I'm not missing him anymore. I'm not thinking about him so much anymore. Like, yeah, that sucks. But look at my life now. I feel good. Like, I don't need him. I really started realizing that, like, I can feel good on my own. I don't need him to make me feel good. So that helped me to move on, knowing that, hey, He's not the only one that can give me these feelings. I can feel this way about myself. And then also, I just realized that I gave it my all. Like, sometimes we can have regrets, like, what if it didn't go this way? Or what if I would have did this better? Or what if I would have did that more? Or what if that wouldn't happen? You can't what if the hell out of that relationship, and that's going to keep you stuck there because you're what if and everything. You got to think about it like, hey, I gave him my all. It didn't work. Nothing I would have done would have changed the relationship ending. It ended for a reason. So just realize that, accept that, and just know that you can move on. Let's see what else. Let's see. Another thing, you don't have to do this right away, but if you feel comfortable enough to do this, I would say start noticing other guys. Like, you still got eyes. You know, there are a lot of fine men out there. There are attractive men out there. So start paying attention to who's cute and looking around and who's attractive. That's what I started. Like, wait, it's some nice, attractive guys out here that I wasn't really paying attention to before because I was so focused on this one man. So whenever I was out at work or going out, I started realizing that, hey, they're kind of cute. And I realized that, hey, I'm kind of cute. So, yeah, you can flirt a little bit, talk a little bit. You don't have to actually have a relationship with them. You don't have to actually move forward with them if you're not ready. But just remember, you got eyes. Remember, there's a lot of cute guys out there. And start entertaining the possibility of basically being with one of them. And realize that you have a lot of personality and someone would love to get to know you for that. Realize that it's good building new connections. It's good starting over again, because then you have a chance to make things better than what they were before. And then you get to find someone that can appreciate you for all that you are. If you never felt that appreciated before, or you felt that maybe he just love bombed you in the beginning and sold you this dream, you can find someone that you can get to know that actually loves you for all of you, for real, and not just what you could do for them. So start doing that. I know me, I started going out, and I enjoyed that part. Like, once I kind of got over him enough, and I started realizing that other guys exist, and that, hey, they can possibly like me. I can date somebody else, get to know somebody else. Dating become fun for me. I stopped so much dating for just finding the one or finding someone to get married to. And I started dating to actually have fun. And it's like, I know I'm this cute girl. I can go out and like flirt and like, hi, oh, you like me? I like you too. You know, doing little stuff like that. It just felt good. It felt good to get back to my femininity. And instead of being so stuck in this rut, like, oh, I'm so worthless. Oh, he just hurt me and this and that. True, he did. But you still got a whole lot of life to live, girlfriend. Like, you still got a lot going for yourself. You got to remember who the fuck you are. And stop really thinking about who you were in that relationship. Like, that was who you were. Who are you are now? Who are you are right now at this moment? Like, yeah, he hurt you. Yeah, it was hard getting over. And yeah, you wanted it to work. But remember, that relationship was just a season. It's not your whole life. Maybe you had some lessons to get from that. And that's another thing to help you move on. Realize the lessons that came from that relationship. Make sure that you actually go back and see what you could have done differently. Meaning, see if you see anything that you did in that relationship that caused it to go on for longer than it should have. Did you tolerate things that you shouldn't have tolerated? Were there any red flags that you just kind of, didn't look at or figured it'll go away on their own? Look at all of that so that you won't carry that same thing into the next relationship whenever you do decide to get in one. So I know for me, I saw a lot of red flags. I did. Some of them I didn't really know were red flags, and some of them I kind of did know. But I just thought like, hey, I like this man. I love this man a lot. And I thought he loved me, how he acted in the beginning. So I'm like, those red flags didn't really matter that much. So I ignored them. And I thought that things would just get better. I was hoping things would get better. That's what kept me holding on so long, was that hope. So just know that. Remember that in the next relationship you go into, to try your best to stay grounded and not so focused on his potential or who you want him to be. Stay focused on who he is in that moment. Even if he switches up and changes, flip right with him. If he changes and flips up and things like that, stay with him. Like, okay, hey, you were interested, but you're not anymore. I'm going to back out because I'm all that. And you're not into all of this. I'm not into you. So remember that the next time when you get into relationships. So that's just one little tip that I wanted to throw in. But to really go over him, I'm going to go back down the list so that you can get it. I'm going to go back over my notes, so I'm looking this way. So basically, remember, relationships have seasons. And that relationship was just part of a season for you to maybe learn, to grow. It wasn't meant to last, and that's okay. Also, remember that you guys, if it ended, you weren't compatible. That's okay as well. That says nothing about your inherent worth that you guys weren't compatible. It's more so that you guys just wasn't a match. And do you really want to stay with someone that you're not a good match with? I don't. I know you don't. Also, the other thing to go back over, ask yourself if it's really him you can't get over, or if it's the hopes and dreams you have for a relationship. Like if it's the hopes and dreams that you really can't get over, realize that you can have that with someone else, or you can basically realize that if he gave you like a good feeling, he makes you feel good about yourself, you don't need him for that. You can either go around friends that have something good to say about you, family that has something good to say about you. Go into yourself and have good things to say about yourself. You don't need him to remind you of that. Remind yourself of that. So if he made you feel so good on cloud nine about yourself, revert back to you. Another thing to remember is I'm going back down the list. Also remember to redirect the focus on yourself. So instead of just thinking about what you lost with him, focus on loving yourself. Focus on loving your life. Get to live in your life. Like get to join your hobbies. Go back to school if you have to. Write a book. Start a blog like I did. Anything to help you take the focus off of him. Just refocus back on you because you are important. You are still here. He's over there. He's gone. But you still remain. So you have to take all the love you have for him and put it back into yourself. So refocus on your life. And realize also that you gave it your all. You really tried. There's nothing more that you can do. It's okay. It didn't work. Next. And then the last thing that I said was basically get back into your femininity. Start noticing other guys and start being okay with the fact that you're going to be maybe entertaining someone else and they're going to be basically getting to know you. You getting to know them. That's a good thing. For me, I had fun with dating. It was flirting and getting to know somebody else, noticing cute guys, them noticing you. Hey, get back into it. So after all that's said and done, I hope that really helps you to move on. Like I say, even if I said all this, just if you have to watch this again and again, do so. If you have to go on my IG page, which is under I've Been That Girl 2 is spelled 200. Go on there. I'm always posting things about how to move on because I know how hard it is for some people. So I hope this helped. There are more videos coming soon. If I think of some more things, I may even do another video like this. I'm not sure, but just know that that I'm here to help. And my IG page is also here. You can go there. And also more YouTube videos coming soon as well. So with that all said and done, hope that helps you guys out. Have a good day.